Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Will the sound work for me? Yep, everything's okay. Great. Alright. Hello, this is Chiak. We are back with Sherlock Holmes Chapter One. And yes, live stream. We're doing a live stream. We're going to live stream the main mission. Now, the point of me doing this is so I can get through... You know, when they said that there was like 100 hours worth in this game, I'm like, are you sure? And yeah, no, I don't think they were lying. It's only set 12 and it feels like ages. Oh, and okay, so we are doing... let's get to the casebook. We're going to do the main mission here, Mother's Love. We'll see how far it takes us. I don't know if I can actually get through the entire 4 hours of a case, or even 5 hours, but in the meantime, can I change? If you let me change, you will. Thank you. Thank you. You'll see what I was wearing this police uniform in the next set. In the meantime, let's head to this. We're going to look at more of Sherlock's past, and well, let's read this. I caught a glimpse of another memory. I remember examining bones, large and pale, and remember the reflections of the magnifying glass. My mother's voice. There was a room full of artifacts and curiosities. Must be somewhere on the manor's ground floor, near a rather memorable painting. Okay, so good. It's on the ground floor. Great for me. You know what? Let's run there, just so I can have the pleasure of knowing. So I am slowly running out of side missions, strangely enough. Okay, maybe I took the wrong back alley. I think I'm taking... Whoa, yep, nope, turn around. Where's this taking me? just making sure. Can I just... No, okay. You know what? I was like, can I jump this? No, you won't allow me to? That's it, I don't know how much speed. That might take off the speed if he has to, like, if he has to pause every single time he jumps down. Oh. Okay, so far no sort of side mission whispers. You guys? No? Okay. Anytime you guys just wanna talk to my presence, give me a side mission. Sorry, kid. I'm busy. Yep, you too as well, child. Alright, are we finally... I get stuck on this tree. Oh my god, this is... Nature, please let me go. Okay. Finally, we are on our way there. Actually, it's right here. Let's cut through the... Alright, so... Hello. How are you? Anyway, John.
A manor all to ourselves. Can you believe it, Sherry? I have so many ideas.
Alright, I think that guy's got a mission for me as well. Alright. Oh, we're at the front here. Wood straight smooth.
I remember returning home with a pair of perfect sticks. We wanted to turn them into training swords.
Oh, that's right. We stood there, frozen, staring at something huge in the main hall.
Okay. Female fish tail. Oh, the...
It was a giant aquarium with a living mermaid in it.
Impossible, it must have been something else.
It'll be the thing outside. Come on. Oh.
Oh, of course, that mortifying hoax presently taking up space in our front yard.
Well, fine. Your memory's better than mine. But I'm sure we started examining it immediately. And someone else was around too.
Okay, something I want to do. Is there reticle at all? Gameplay, camera sensitivity, enable streaming. Oh, this is not gonna work for me. Just turn that off. Controls. Yeah, I don't see anything about a reticle, but I'm assuming it was left out for immersion point purposes, I should say. Okay. Anyway. Female, so the
It was my mother. She asked what I thought of the artifact.
You were really concentrating and holding something in your hand.
Magnifying glass?
I inspected it with a magnifying glass and was able to confirm it was made of 2 different skeletons. The mermaid was a fake.
And so it was time to smash the thing. Your mother took a hammer and...
Slow down, John. That's not how it happened. I remember other people joined us.
Okay, here we go. Loud voices.
The workers took the artifact and placed it into the cabinet of curiosities. It became part of Mother's collection of fakes. She always said that the truth lies in the details. This mermaid helped me to learn that.
Okay. Curiouser and Curiouser. I'm assuming we need to activate this. Cabinet of Curiosities. I can proceed. Okay, let's, here we go.
Ah yes, my mother's studio. She was an authenticator, and this was her cabinet of curiosities.
I never saw the point. What does it matter if some artifact is real or not? It still exists.
Okay.
One of the most ridiculous fakes I ever saw. Its owner insisted it was a polar bear. He thought the white paint on the brown fur wasn't noticeable.
Oh, I was wondering what the hell is that supposed to be? Cozy blanket.
I remember this cozy blanket. It was perfect for...
Wigwam! Oh, that was a joy to build them. Imagining ourselves as wayfarers on the other side of the world.
Okay. Jesus. I didn't realize this was there and it scared
It's a
me.
pity how many amazing things are missing from this room.
Watkin and Holman Chapter 1? Wait, what?
Watkinson and Holman, Chapter 1, by Wallace D. Oram.
Oh, Mycroft. He always acts so serious, but then reads tripe like this.
John, if I remember correctly, you couldn't put this book down.
Okay.
Another fake Holy Grail. Its owner claimed to be the heir of King Arthur. Scarcely believable. He also insisted a deadly rabbit was hunting him.
Okay. Oh, something's missing here. Oh boy. You know what this means? Shopping. What?
Mother said this was among the hunting trophies of a Scottish Viscount.
Okay, I was like...
So he tried to persuade everyone that his forest was inhabited by these beasts. It would have been thrilling if it were actually true.
I was wondering, like, it just looks like a deer head. What's wrong? Oh, I see. I see. Can I get a closer look? Nope. Hey, Sherlock, just need to... Nope, Sherlock, work with me here. I just need one... Oh my god, please, just work with me. Okay, what's the one for... There we go, screenshot. Anyway.
The full plate armor of Sir Robert Swanford. I was told my father won it in a wager.
Armour is armour, but look at his sword. Oh, how badly I wanted to wield the blade. Maybe you take it instead of your pistol.
Don't know how much a sword would do in a gunfight, but thank you for the offer, John. Oh, what do we have here? A torn diploma found in the cabinet of curiosities. Someone deliberately ripped it into several pieces. Resembled and translated, the diploma reads, on behalf of the Board of the University of Geneva, Switzerland, we, rectors of the university, noting that Mr. Otto Richer has undergone the tests required by the laws and regulations, confer on him the degree of Doctor of Medicine with the rights and prerogatives so attached.
Clearly, it was deliberately torn. I wonder why someone would do that.
What is this?
The Tulpa, Studies in Tibetan Mentalism.
Okay, and then we have the markings.
An impressive number of bookmarks. Someone was rather obsessed with this subject.
Okay. And then what do we have here? Oh, zoom in. Otto Richard's personal notes. Mrs. Holmes is a patient of considerable interest and an ideal test subject to explore some of my theories. I will attempt to repeatedly immerse her in the traumatic situation that precipitated her mental illness. It is my belief that reliving that moment may give her mind a chance to embrace what happened, accept it, and effectively cure itself. I am confident in my hypothesis and merely need to prove it. In addition, it's fortuitous to be around the broader Holmes family. Perhaps I will be able to also examine the hereditary of psychological traits, be they competency or disorders. It is already apparent that all family members share an uncommonly high intelligence. It appears that the mother's condition has begun to affect the mind of the youngest boy, Sherlock. While I cannot conduct a proper medical examination due to the protectiveness of the elder son, it seems that the boy suffers ongoing hallucinations in the form of an imaginary friend, John. John? Oh, you have nothing to say about this. Okay. I was so sure you were going to say something. Letters from Otto's brother. My dear brother, I heard you recently arrived on Cordona. Have you come to see me? I do miss our evening conversations, even if we never agree in our opinions. Cordona is home to a stunning new art gallery, which I visit every Thursday. Meet me there. Oh, and do not seek Claus. I left that name behind. Otto's brother. Is this the same man who I suspect is Moriarty? What's this?
And this one was brought from a German museum. They claimed it belonged to Vikings. Nonsense, of course. Vikings never had horns on their helmets. The so-called mummy of a Persian princess. The defrauders did good work, but missed one small detail. It's the mummy of a man.
It's I guess it's a small detail.
An archaeological find should be here. It's far better than beneath the old city walls.
Oh, this is the skull that they... What the... Is that... What's... Oh, my... What? I thought... Okay, no, I thought there was something to look at. Oh, what's that?
I'm not sure I want to hear its horrifying inhuman howl again.
Oh, this is the... I think it's from one of the cases.
Look, it's Roger. This jolly old man's well preserved. Even looks refreshed.
I doubt he drew much interest at the auction.
That's for the best. I'd be upset if he fell into the wrong hands.
Alright. Is there anything else here? Oh, how do I turn this? Here, go. What's up?
This photo caused a lot of fuss. My mother spent some time to prove it was a fake.
Oh, okay, I was like, what's wrong with this one? I see the fairies.
1852, Bingley, West Yorkshire.
Some, early Photoshop. Which would have been a lot harder in those days. Oh, let's look at the... Looks like...
So many calling cards. Mycroft liked to keep useful people at hand.
Okay, I was wondering if they were tarot cards, but clearly not the case. Come on. I'm clicking. Took a while. Officer... Oh, hello.
Officer Luciano J. Placido.
Hey, yeah. Sorry I kind of ruined your investigation. I totally thought you were dead. I wasn't expecting you to actually cut off your own ear.
Reliable and driven. I recognize Mycroft's handwriting.
Okay. Dear Mr. Holmes, please accept my deepest gratitude for your recent help with that personal matter. I shudder to think what may have happened were it not for your keen eye and sharp mind. Rest assured, should our paths cross once again, you will be greeted by a grateful friend. His Honor, Judge McDougal. Okay. Right, what else do we got here? Ah, here we go. We have a key
This
for it
drawer was always closed. Only Mycroft knew how to open it.
No?
I remember we tried to break it open and spy on him, but alas, had no success. Maybe today's the day. Oh, Sherry.
Okay, I'm trying to find... There's nothing that I see that's obvious. Got the calling cards here, the letter. That. Is there something on this side that I'm not seeing? You can only move in W and S, so up and down. Oh, is there... Oh no, that's the letter.
Dated 24th of April, 1869.
Oh, this is a different letter? My bad.
Carefully opened.
Court summons Mr. Mycroft Holmes. The Cordona City Hall writes to inform you that the trial of Dr. Otto Richer in the death of Mrs. Violet Holmes has been assigned to His Honor Judge McDougal. Your application for a closed hearing has been granted. You are hereby informed that the prosecution has called you as a primary witness in the trial of Dr. Richer. You must present yourself at the Criminal Court of Cordona on the dates listed over leaf.
I'm starting to remember something.
Okay. I don't see it's that. Memories in the Manor. Okay, hold on. Let's actually jump into... Let's just get rid of all of these. Oh, what's your... The Master of Unlocking. I don't know why that's making me laugh. John asked if we could unlock Mycroft's jar in the Cabinet of Curiosities. One morning... I tried to spy on Mycroft to find out where he keeps the key in the jar. Okay. Well, let's do this first then. Okay. Early morning footsteps.
Ah, the memory comes back. We snuck about watching him.
He closed the drawer and went to the hall. We were like two shadows crawling behind him.
He opened the door to the postman, and they exchanged documents. If it was a real postman, of course.
Okay. Oh, is that done? We're going? Off we go? Alright, this key is... I'm sorry, this key is all the way upstairs. I mean, if you want to hide it, put it far, far, far away.
The painting on the wall was slightly atilt. He stopped and straightened it. Then he threw some logs into the fire and sat in his armchair to read.
It's as boring now as it was then. I'm sorry, Sherry, but I think that's it.
Wait,
Okay.
John, we never use the fireplace in the mornings. What if...
What is that?
A bit of juniper in the fireplace created a soothing atmosphere. It's the little things, isn't it?
Oh, interesting. Guess, old, aromatherapy?
I think this is what we're looking for.
I really hope you had some gloves or used the fire book to do that.
I heard footsteps
Oh,
upstairs
never
a
mind,
second
just gonna
ago.
say the same thing.
Wait, do we have an attic here?
Alright, let's open this jar and become the master of unlocking.
We made it. So what's there?
Alcohol? I'm assuming this is alcohol.
Gifted by Queen Victoria herself.
Oh, okay.
Single malt whiskey. Mycroft's favourite.
That's that's definitely something. A present from the Queen. Half a bottle of fine single malt whiskey. Mycroft's favorite drink. We found it locked in the drawer of the desk in the curiosity cabinet among a pile of important documents. Remarkably, it seems that the whiskey was a gift of Her Majesty Queen Victoria herself. Her Majesty. I feel like I said that wrong. Very weirdly.
Otto Richter.
Oh boy. Case files. Come on. Come on.
This one is rather thick. Mycroft can be truly dogged in his research.
Otto Richter is 45 years old, born to a respected family in Bern, Switzerland, unmarried, no heirs. Medical practitioner, graduated from the University of Geneva, Switzerland. Graduation was postponed a year due to a minor scandal on one of his placements. Parents died of cholera in 1863. Only remaining family is a half-brother, Claus, aged 35. Present whereabouts of Claus Richter, unknown. Last seen on Cordona. Okay, this is obviously going to be our next case. We're going to be trying to find Claus.
Dossiers on the most influential people on Cordona. Mycroft always had a habit of building files on everyone he met.
Okay. I don't know why it takes so long every single time to just pull back out once we finish our investigation. So, that's done. See if I can find it without... What? Where is this leading us? Just take us... Okay, I went the wrong way, I guess. First off, let's get rid of all these. Here we go. Accident in the Cabinet of Curiosities. Ladder, last shelf.
I used this ladder to look at the top shelf, right? On the day of Mother's breakdown upstairs.
Right you are, Sherry.
Oh, I can hear it over here. This is where
We
the...
heard a noise. I can't recall of exactly what. And we didn't have a great view from behind the statue.
Okay, where are... Here?
The books and papers from the table somehow ended up on the floor. Now it's coming to the surface. I feel it.
Okay. Wow, that was a bit of a shorter one. So let's do... John, now it's your turn. Take it from here. So how many points... Okay, looks like it is just 3 points. Okay. So those are the two. I'm assuming there's only 2 of these. Okay, this one makes more sense to me. Okay, the hiding. Okay, well, this one was easy to...
Come on, Sherry. Let's go outside. Wait. Did you hear that? Come here, Sherry.
You call this progress? Charlatan, amateur. I'm not letting you anywhere near my mother again.
So there was a quarrel between them.
The curious conversation. It all happened shortly after the incident in Violet's room on April 9th. Sherry decided to play with artifacts in the Cabinet of Curiosities, and of course I went with him. As a result, we became unintentional witnesses to an argument between Mycroft and Otto Ricker. Sherlock's brother was angry. He was sure that Dr. Ricker had done something dubious to their mother, and that it had backfired. He called Otto a charlatan.
I heard a noise in the hall. Let's check it out.
Yeah, so did I. Someone... hello? Oh.
Sherry, look! We've got a parcel here. Hurry up and let's see what's inside.
Oh, how nice of them to just leave it inside. Invitation from Vogel, of course, Vogel. Dear Mr. Holmes, I'm waiting for you at Kurt Manchio's mansion on Turquoise Lane, across from Cordona Abbey in northern Grand Surrey. Come at once. If inconvenient, come anyway. Always your friend, Vogel. P.S. I sent you the appropriate outfit for this place to avoid any unnecessary complications. I hope it fits.
An invitation that comes with a mask. We can't miss this, Sherry.
Why is the case called Sacrificial Lamb? Okay. Let's go outside. I need to take a screenshot of the don't know if I've already done it, but if I can position this. Nope. Sure. Say cheese. Alright, there we go. So, let's look at this case. Sacrificial lamb. This is all done, so I'm curious. No? Any more furniture? Actually, you know what? I should check the map to see. Yeah, okay, furniture has popped up again. So forever in the old city where it looks like that's the only place that's got stuff. No, wait, there's this one here. Forever there. Okay, sacrificial lamb. Oh. We have things with mother's love. Let's quickly do this before I forget. Testified against Ricker. No? Okay. Suspicious psychiatrist. Mycroft did not like the methods of Dr. Otto Ricker and did not trust him. Is that it? I'm gonna assume that is it. I don't know. The day she died. Is there something else I can... I don't see anything. Okay, just wanted to make sure. But let's read our new case here, the Sacrificial Lamb. Alright, and I've been sent an outfit. If I can... Is this the outfit that we got? Turns heads before cracking skulls. The Prince of Darkness, you say? The mask? Okay, this is definitely the outfit. A normal mask for normal people. Don't imagine any of this stuff. It should just be the mask and nothing else. Also, John, do you have a new outfit? No? Okay. I don't know. You know what? Okay, fine. I'll bring you back to your favorite suit. There. Alright, we look like a totally normal person on a totally normal night. So this is, actually I should put this on my map. Forgot about that. So, place on map. So, located Turquoise Lane, Northern Grand Surrey. So Turquoise Lane right here. Across from Cordona Abbey. Which is this Cordona Abbey? I'm going to assume it is. So we'll just mark it here. And then let's travel our way there. I am not going out. Here we go. Yeah, your mission. I'll deal with you later. Meantime. Let's have a non-suspicious stroll as we make our way to this costume party. I'm gonna say it was a costume party. I don't know why we'd be given this in the first place. Just want to make sure. If I go, yeah, okay. So if I just follow Silent Way all the way, then eventually I will come across. So at least, at the very least, it's just one straight road. I should watch out for any people talking together. This way? Just making sure. This is a rather empty street. Oh, wait, is he here? Nope, okay. It's close, but not quite. What's this place? Anyway. No, not quite. I keep... Are we here yet? No, wait, this way. I'm assuming I'm going to see right away. Oh, I totally did miss the turn. My bad. Okay. I did have the right idea. Sometimes I do get confused of which way the character's facing on the map. Okay, lag, stop. Alright, has to be up here. And I won't look at the map. Oh, I'm looking... Okay, there's the... Is it, here? Okay, yeah, this looks like party.
Welcome to the Mantius Mansion.
I don't know why, he looks like I am fed up with all of this. But they pay me. Okay. Are they all gonna say the same thing? Same character model too.
Excuse me, just one question.
Apologies, sir, but I've never heard of it.
What are you talking about? I have an invitation. I'm literally... Where is this place? What is this for? Do you happen to know?
May I ask you something?
Oh, sir, I'm afraid I don't know about that.
You obviously haven't thought this all through. Or are you
wanna
just
see-
annoying these people on purpose?
I mean, that's an option.
Welcome, sir. I do hope you enjoy yourself.
Okay. Nope, still, I don't think I need to... Let's, unpin this. You have anything to say to me?
Enjoy the evening, sir. There is still plenty of time before the grand finale.
All right.
What if I write an article about these people here? Can you help me gather information about Cordona's elite?
I was about to say, I'm like, this person is clearly not wearing the robes. I'm like, oh. What type of party have you been invited to, Sherlock? What? John, get off the table.
My goodness, Sherlock, they made a blood fountain.
No, John, it's definitely not blood, just wine. Gauze, at a guess.
Okay. So, show off their influence, I guess. Okay, what am I supposed to be doing? Oh, John has a bet. John asked me to look for info that he might use to write an article. Might use to write an article. Anything in particular? Can we go back here? We can.
Sherlock! Friend! I wasn't sure you'd come.
Werner, I see you are not yourself.
The more time you spend here in Cordona, the more I feel it my duty to bring you into our world and show you all we have to offer.
And what is on offer today?
Pleasure, indulgence, relief, and relaxation. You've earned some time for yourself, have you not?
Those who know me would say I'm incapable of it.
Nonsense. I refuse to believe there is anyone permitted to know Sherlock Holmes.
Huh. You may be right.
Then free yourself from inhibition and expectation. The night is young, and so are the guests. You should try to enjoy both. It's not healthy for handsome men to spend every night alone, and certainly not in a house filled with such melancholic memories.
I must admit, my travels have proven more taxing than expected. I'm less confident in my life and myself. Time of relaxation seems a distant dream.
So can I tempt you with a physical aid to your moral consolations? There's wine, of course, and something to smoke, or perhaps an artificial paradise? Yes, something more spiritual, a potentiator to sharpen the mind. A 7% solution of, well, that'd be telling, but you must try it.
My mind already operates at a far higher level than most. I struggle to believe anything could improve it. My ultimate duty is to provide the world with truth, and I do that perfectly well as is.
Duty? You've never cared about that before.
Of course I do. Exposing a lie, revealing a fact, that is a moral responsibility.
That's not morality. Morals are what happens afterwards when truth collides with consequence. Do you ever follow up on cases you solved? Do you ever see what happened next, visit the victims, ensure justice is served in the courts? And how do you choose where to direct your attention? Are there not deserving causes to which your brilliance could be applied but isn't?
You ascribe me more power than I possess. I have a narrow skill set and work within that mandate. What occurs afterward is irrelevant.
With every action or inaction, you place a finger on the scales of morality. Many in the city would see you as abdicating your responsibility.
I haven't.
Not me, of course. Morality is subjective, just like truth. There is little to be gained from indulging in it, and far better things to indulge in. Now I must insist on easing any burdens I've placed upon your shoulders. Show yourself a kindness, and try this rather delectable concoction.
I don't trust this guy.
I am perfectly capable of coping with myself without medical assistance.
Then I shall press you on it no further. But please do not refuse my gift. Take it with you as a souvenir of this special night.
Souvenir of what, exactly? But, all right, if only to put the matter to bed.
And now, our evening begins in earnest. I just remembered. I'm sorry, Sherlock. My mind's delightfully impaired. Please take this key. It opens the altar room, past the library.
Pardon? Altar room? What now, Werner?
Go quickly and find our Fabio. Only you can make him talk. I'll join you in a minute.
What exactly am I being drawn into? What are you drawing me into? Key to the altar room. Vogel gave me a key so I could talk to someone named Fabio in the altar room. Okay, well, we're just gonna... We'll come across it naturally. I could only assume. You don't really need to talk to people. Can I take the hors d'oeuvres. Just fill myself up with some food. Oh god, this is the altar room, isn't it? Oh no, we have to use the key, right? So unless we come across a door, John, I can't speak to you.
You should sit next to me and wait to be served.
Nanchio's had to enforce the masks after the scandal.
Oh, okay. Uncovered the identity disclosure scandal. 2 port to 10, I don't think. Lost bet? No? Cheating groom? Okay. Offended duchess? Too ugly without mask? Political crisis, that makes more sense. A yellow press. Oh, this is John's bet. People describe the scandal from a previous party. Vice Governor Cowden was found by his wife-to-be, a Prussian duchess, in the company of young men. Although the marriage was intended to be a political one, the emotions of the duchess were real. The incident instigated a political crisis between Cordona and Prussia. Although there were only a few notes of protest, the governor fired his protege.
That's what I like about this party. Bring me more dirt, Sherry. One more piece, and I can expose these base hedonists.
Okay. I was wondering, like, am I looking for a physical item? But so I'm just gonna be eavesdropping on people's conversations. I don't think it's gonna have to be in a private room, right? Oh, hi, library.
Codex Orchis. Why does this occult book sound like a flower?
Okay. Is this gonna be something later?
Romantic poetry and prose. Someone's in touch with their feelings.
Oh, there's another side.
One of these books must open a secret passage. I know it.
Alright. Anything else here? Oh,
Well-known and recent plays to keep up to date with the current trends.
okay. There's a door there. Oh, yeah, I was about to say, the pianist is blindfolded, so he can't see anything, I guess.
Do you know what was here before Manchiosa's family bought it?
Find out the eerie history of the mansion. Okay. Ruins? No. Expensive wine? No. Magic circle? Okay, before Manchio's family, the mansion was owned by an occultist architect. He dedicated his life to conducting a powerful ritual from the Forgotten Tomb. But the ordinary magic circles proved too weak for it. That was why he built this mansion. A keen eye might notice that its shape corresponds with certain magical symbols, and some walls have cavities. One day, the architect simply disappeared. An ash stain on the floor was all that remained. Perhaps he was successful in his endeavor.
I'll pin them down, Biscoop. Thank you, Sherlock.
Okay, good. We are done this then. Okay, so there was the big yellow door. Sorry. Yeah, not yellow door. The big white door. The only closed door that I seem to be able to approach or access. Yeah, okay. Alright. Fabio.
My God. Was he here this whole time?
Huh, okay. Can I not look at the body? Here we go. 6 things to
A blunt
uncover.
force trauma may have suffered an internal hemorrhage.
Really? Not this. Oh, the knife itself. What is. Oh.
This golden handle has a bloodstain on it. The dagger is heavy and sharp, but lacks balance.
Okay, so it's more. I was about to say ornamental, but it says ritual dagger.
This worm-like sigil has been drawn with his own blood.
Okay, we have this thing. Oh, tattoo.
This crude tattoo partially covers a slave branding.
Huh. I am trying to find. I mean, there's this. Where am I? Oh, here we go.
The victim has clenched the fabric so firmly in his fist that it's nigh impossible to remove it.
Alright. Oh, okay, now I can look at the wound.
The wound is deep. A precise strike reached the heart. He died right here.
Okay. Oh, here's the case.
This elaborate box must be for the ritual dagger. The herbs here are Salvia divinorum. They have a slight hallucinogenic effect to emphasize the ceremony. This oil has a slight aroma of flowers and olive. The ointment smells mouse-like. I presume it is an aphrodisiac prepared from a Spanish fly.
How? I'm sorry, what does a mouse-like smell like? Oh, Vogel.
Werner, care to explain what is going on here?
On nights like these, it's not unusual for some attendees to get a little exuberant. It's part of the appeal. Unfortunately, it appears things have gotten out of hand. Yes, some are more prone to bend the rules of morality.
That's murder. I doubt there's anything left to bend. Why did you not tell me immediately? We were chatting about trivial matters for some time.
If I'm completely honest, Sherlock, I've consumed a rather potent cocktail of substances. My attention slips and drifts. But I'm glad I thought to call for you.
You sent me a disguise.
Oh dear, did I? Well, since I found the body, Mr. Manchios has agreed that you can investigate the matter. I promise my mind will behave itself going forward.
All right. Pull yourself together, Werner.
Okay. I would have seen the police know nothing.
The police remain unaware of this tragic event?
Some of them may be hiding behind their masks. They conceal many things. But we didn't want the authorities to create more problems. Besides, after a few cocktails, their incompetence will have soared to new heights.
How do you know I even want the case?
I promised you relaxation. If there's one thing I know about you, Sherlock, it's that nothing soothes you more than a good mystery.
Okay, why does his hair keep... What is happening? His hair keeps flickering. Is that... I'm assuming it's visible on the stream?
How did you discover the body? In between guzzles of alcohol?
I was set to perform in a fecundity rite with Fabio and came to inquire further. It was a staged ritual where he was to play the principle of life.
And the rehearsal was unsuccessful?
Huh. Who knows? I found him alone on the altar, his blood dripping to the floor.
And then?
Then I called Mr. Manchios. He was panicking, so I told him about you. We left the room and locked the door. Then we were...
Filling time?
Waiting for you was stressful. We indulged in some simple comforts. Overindulged, perhaps.
Okay.
Mr. Manchios is the owner of the manor, yes?
And the host of Cordona's most memorable parties. He promises even the ugliest guest a partner for the night. And for the ones with more unconventional tastes, Mr. Manchios provides other services.
What a caring person.
You cannot begin to imagine.
Were you well acquainted with Fabio, the victim?
Everyone knew Fabio, or wanted to. His beauty was the talk of the island. Too handsome to go unnoticed. He was magnetic. Fat wallets fought for the privilege of having him. He offered the pleasures of performance, and more.
What about the fertility ritual? There was something about Fabio being a principle of life.
Fabio was supposed to portray the beauty of life's origin. Flowers, oil. Not this travesty that seems straight out of the Inquisition.
So this ritual is not the fertility rite. What was it meant to look like?
It begins with a woman lying naked in a flower bed on the altar. She represents Gaia, the earth. As I cover her in oils, we chant for the principle. As our calls reach a climax, Fabio enters and copulates with her. After he finishes, I stab her with a dagger. That part's just pretend, of course.
But the intercourse is not?
I did not expect you to be such a prude. Are you a virgin? It is nothing to be ashamed of, but it would explain the color of your cheeks. The fertility rite marks the start of our festivities. The principle of life is beautiful, intimate, essential. It must not be stopped.
Yet it appears that someone did stop it. What about the naked woman? Can you tell me anything about her?
Oh yes, Matista. She's one of Fabio's compatriots and a performer too. I haven't seen her today, actually.
I kind of wonder if he, because, like, you can't see my cheeks, but then there is the rose on the mask itself. I'm like, since Vogel chose this mask, I'm assuming he did, for Sherlock, what does it mean he thinks of Sherlock?
When you discovered the body, was the door open?
No, it was locked. Oh, that reminds me. It's a minor detail, but the first time I came to speak to Fabio, I left without entering, having been unable to open the door.
You didn't have the key?
No, I had it. Don't look at me like that. I was mostly sober. I suspect there was a key in the other side of the door, blocking the lock.
That detail may very well be major, Werner. Well done. So you returned later only to find the lock was not blocked?
Correct. After an hour had passed, I tried again and was able to unlock the door. That's when I discovered poor, handsome Fabio.
Okay. Oh boy. Let's see what's on the other side here. Okay, that's clearly... There's another door there, so I don't want to quite enter there yet.
Enough cigars to burn down the entire mansion.
Are you sure? Oh. Oh, I was wondering if this means anything. Okay, we have a... Come on, click it. Seriously, just click it. I'm clicking my right mouse button.
Why don't people tidy up after themselves?
Okay, a little crop.
An open wound spoiled the carpet.
Oh, alcohol? Oh.
Blood. A sturdy bottle met a not-so-sturdy human. It didn't break only because it was unopened.
Okay, so he has, Fabio has a wound on his right side, so he may have been hit over the head with this bottle. Possibly. Oh, what's happening? Okay, let's just head to the... Smoking lounge, a private room where guests can smoke in comfort. There were droplets of blood on the carpet. One bottle stained with blood was lying on the floor. Are we,
The wounded person was here for some time. A bloody handprint on an armchair.
Where? Where? I heard that. Oh, here.
A person leaned against the doorframe. They left a smudged trail of blood. There appear to be no further traces leading to the altar.
So an altercation happened in the smoking lounge. The traces end at the smoking lounge. What's over here? Oh. John, you were here. You have nothing to say? A dressing room?
The pitcher is empty, but with puddles around it. Blood clots are adhered to the sides of the drain.
Okay. So, someone cleaned up.
Identical to the robes the guests are wearing.
What handprint? Can I see it? Not really. Just somewhere on the hanger, there's a wet handprint.
This is a different ritual.
Ritual scenario. I found a scenario of some sorts of ritual with a remark written at the beginning. It says, read and rehearse this right. Mancio. Huh. The naked woman lies on the altar on the bed of flowers, symbolizing Mother Gaia, the one who leads the ritual oils the body of the woman to waken her inner fertility. Participants should chant at this moment and call for the man who can please Mother Gaia. Then the man who will impersonate the principles of life may come to engage in sexual congress with her. Is that? Okay. But what was the different ritual that was supposedly done? Don't ignore the guests, Matista, and stop boring them. They don't want to hear about your stupidities. They want to feel how beautiful they are and how generous you can be towards them. You are here to please and celebrate life. Remember, each guest paid a great deal to be with you. Mancio.
How can anyone accept such behavior?
Okay.
A useful tool for a disguise arsenal. Props, decorations, and tools for a more detailed set. Handcrafted and luxurious cufflinks. There's also a note. For my Fabio, Manchos.
Okay.
Handcrafted and luxurious
I thought we couldn't
cufflinks.
actually look at the
There's also a
cufflinks.
note.
Oh, hello,
For
key.
my Fabio, Manchos. The capital F on the key fob might refer to Fabio.
Okay.
The key is similar to the one that Vogel gave me.
Okay, so he had a... I guess it's saying that he has a room.
Would you recognize me in one of these? I suppose not.
Give me a key to the room. Alright, anything else?
Similar to the guests' robes, apart from the bloodstains.
So, Sherry, do you have any ideas about the case?
Perhaps, perhaps. I think I can deduce what happened here.
Oh, I didn't realize there's a backing area to this. Literally... Oh, hello.
The sign reminds me of the astrological symbol for Mars.
And then...
This one looks like a twisted symbol of Venus, drawn in a hurry.
Anything with that?
Oh, these crime scenes always outdo my imagination.
Just want to see if there's anything else since... Okay, let's have a look at... Alright. So were they jealous of Mancio? Or Fabio and... Alright, John? What's the other option? Okay, well, there doesn't seem to be... No. Okay, so stab took place here. I think that's the only option. We have that. Just making sure I see. That's a knife. Or the dagger. Okay. Obviously that. Dragged. No. Okay, that makes sense to me. Where are the other options? I just want to make sure. Okay. Okay, is that it? Oh, there's something here. Okay. Is Fabio's key? I just want to... Because it was just on the dresser, right? Because they say it was blocked on the other side. Let's just see if I can find that information. Old wardrobe. Fabio's key is still on the table. And he would have made a note if it was... So was he actually holding the door closed? The perpetrator? Let's try.
You're not even trying,
Okay.
Sherry. Concentrate.
So maybe he did actually insert a key into the...
The bottle was used as a weapon during a scuffle in the smoking lounge. Then, to ensure no one would interrupt, the murderer locked the door. The unconscious body of the victim was moved to the altar room. Once the body was on the altar, the murderer thrust the dagger into the victim's heart. Symbols were drawn with the blood. The wardrobe was used to hide the bloodied robe from anyone's eyes. The killer washed himself and took a clean robe from the hanger before leaving.
Are you alright? You're on the floor, not moving.
I think I know what happened here.
But we don't know who the perpetrator... John, what are you doing? Okay. Okay, I'm gonna assume we had to just talk to Vogel.
I'm starting to put the pieces together.
Fabio was stabbed.
I see nothing gets past you, Werner. Yes, he was stabbed, but only after being knocked out in the next room and placed here. I do not yet know why.
So, who's responsible?
Well, it was one person working alone, and the murderer has now donned a robe. He or she could be hiding in plain sight. We have lost time, Werner, but your discretion may prove to be a benediction after all.
Okay. So, is that it?
I know you can untangle this mess.
Okay, thank you for the confidence. That's not what I was asking for, but whatever. Mysterious aristocrat takes regular boat trips. This is the place we went to last time. Yeah, in order to find Werner. I just want to make sure that there's no... Okay, there is no... Oh wait, Mind Palace. I totally keep forgetting about this. Hold on, let's actually... Who are you supposed to be talking to? Okay, you know what? You've probably taken some other substances, so I won't question this. Mind Palace. I keep forgetting about the Mind Palace. So, Okay, the murderer had a key to the altar room. Oh. Fabio was killed in a ritual murder. Oh, the ritual was a cover. The true motive of murder. Okay, I think that's... Okay, just wanted to see. So that's it for that. So now we go to the case book. Can I not go to the case book? So, let's find out. Who else has a key?
The murderer had to have access to this room. After the crime, he used his own key to lock the door. So, who had the key to the altar room?
I'm not sure. As a special guest, I was provided one by Mr. Manchios. He should be able to tell you of any others.
Where can I find him?
Most likely in the main hall, entertaining his guests. He has a mask with golden stars. You can't miss him. But please be discreet. We don't want to risk disturbing the revelry.
Okay. Can
I know you
anything
can
else?
untangle
Okay,
this mess.
okay. So let's, Oh, I bet. There we go. So, with a mask, golden star. I assume it wants us to use the... I wonder if we can just see it from with our own eyes. We know he's male. Trying to... You, keep still. Basically, a mask different from the others. Is that golden star? No. Oh, but we can actually see the mask a bit clearer. Far-sighted Greek performer friendly. Trained for bullfights. No, not this guy. Evades taxes. How can you tell just from someone's flat earther sympathetic? Oh, he is nervous. I'm sorry, what? I heard something. Okay, more sounds. Gotta go away now. Man, this place is terrible for
Look, I'm an outlaw.
for the community guidelines. Okay. So he is just out here somewhere. So I guess, was that one the guy with the golden stars? The only, let's look at the masks to really make sure. The one guy I pointed out. No, because he has a... Okay, I need you to turn... Yes, he also has a golden star. I don't know about the flat earther part, though, so... Tense brittle. Oh.
Kurt Manchios, I presume? I'm Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, you must be the one Werner told me about. What a sweet voice you have. It must belong to a handsome young man. Can I call you Sherlock?
As you wish, Mr. Manchios. Mr. Vogel asked me to help you. The body in the altar room requires answers, and quickly. I suspect the murderer to still be here.
What? Lower your voice. I don't want anyone to hear us.
Okay.
Did you know Fabio well?
People are starting to look at us, Sherlock. Change the subject. I can't believe what happened to him. To me. Such an atrocity. Think what it means for me. A wonderful evening for so many good, influential, and rich people has been ruined. I have betrayed all my promises of exotic delights.
I don't understand. Surely a murder would affect your reputation to a greater extent.
Please, isn't this why you are here? I thought you were a silent magician. Do your tricks and make it go away.
Okay.
I need to find all those who had the key to the altar room. As far as I know, Mr. Vogel, Fabio, and you had access to it. Is that correct?
That is correct, yes. Also, Matista and Santos.
Santos? Who is that?
Santos Pinchetti, my major domo. In his opinion, at least.
What is a major domo?
I'd like to speak to Mr. Pinchetti and Matista. Do you have somewhere I might have a private conversation with them?
Of course, of course. Let me think. Matista is entertaining the guests somewhere, and Santos... Oh, yes. He will be busy with the servants. Or the cook. What's that noise? What's going on? Please, filth. You're under arrest.
What is happening? Also, did that butler need to be kicked down the stairs?
Committed a crime, and now I have to free you, kiss your hand, and apologize for the inconvenience. Your Grace.
I did tell you that Mr. Vogel and I were innocent. I emphasized it in my statement.
Your statement? Thanks to some bigwigs who work for the so-called good of the country by releasing fleas like you. Thank God we had Vogel in his letter. Once I get to that goldfish, I'll...
Bigwig? Oh, my wretched brother Mycroft and his long nose.
Wait, did you say Mycroft? Mycroft Holmes? Are you the youngest son of Violet Holmes, rest her soul?
Huh?
You knew my mother?
Not personally, no. Not exactly. I was working on the paperwork for that case.
Would you happen to remember anything of the events?
Well, I didn't make the inquiry, but I remember seeing some notes. Why?
Perhaps we can negotiate. I could be quite useful.
Huh. Got you hooked, right? You know what? Stark and the others think they're the smartest here, thanks to you. Let me get this straight. Are you listening to me, lad?
I'm all ears.
Take this case. Report to me only, to Constable Harvey Oswald. I'll leave everything I have on this table. Find the murderer. Be a real copper. Question the suspects, make them sing, give me something substantial.
And if Mr. Vogel is not a suspect?
If he's innocent, then you can take your favourite degenerate away from here. If you slip or mess with the evidence, then trust me, your brother won't save you from my bludgeon. Meanwhile, I'll be checking the archive for you. If anybody asks, then you're a consulting detective.
Let's make a start then, partner.
Okay, so someone called.
I'm glad we managed to get the scoop before the raid.
Someone called the police. Which most likely the murder, I would assume. Oh. Oh, I have to hold. Report number 6260. Following reports from a witness of the satanic ritual who claimed to have found a body, the raid on the Manchio mansion was granted. It resulted in the arrest of multiple suspects and dispersals of the group in masks and robes caught in acts of gross indecency and unnatural behavior. The body of the victim was found lying on an altar with a knife wound in his chest. The officers identified the victim, Fabio, 20, a local performer and an artist. Arrested suspects, V. Vogel. Vogel had a letter of an insulting nature in his possession which had been written by the victim. He claims to have found the body. He is infamous for his eccentric personality. S. Holmes carried a murder weapon, a dagger with the victim's blood, and other items of evidence. He was invited by another suspect, V. Vogel, presumably to obstruct the official investigation. K. Manchio, the owner of the mansion and organizer of the satanic party, paid the victim to participate in the ritual, had access to the crime scene. I don't know if you can hear the vacuuming that's happening outside my apartment. Batista, Fabio's partner and participant in the ritual, tried to escape, resisted arrest, owned a book with the description of the ritual performed in the altar room. Some of the guests are temporarily detained for further questioning. Well, it looks... I'm sorry, but Santos really looks pretty... He's not listed at all. The provider of the ticket has permission to inspect all evidence on case... Oh, thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh.
Back on track to solve the case.
Witness deposition. I, Santos Pinchetti, am a witness who reports a suspicion of murder at Manchio's mansion in Gran Surrey. During preparations for the social party, I heard loud noises from the closed altar room. Immediately, I thought of the sacrifice of a living being overviewed by none other than Kurt Manchio. There was blood on the walls, strange symbols, and a dagger in the heart. As soon as I was able to think clearly, I rushed to the police station to report my findings. The station responded to the deposition by sending a patrol, while the witness left the station and went home. Is this a jilted... The Santos... Is this what's gonna be Santos... loves or is infatuated Manchio and did not like the fact... Okay, I see police interrogation.
I can't go back to prison.
Thanks. Okay, I think let's take off this robe for one thing. Oh, I have to wear this entire time? Really? Okay. Where are all the things? Evidence ticket, witness deposition. Okay, a bunch of things to talk about.
Look, I found Werner.
Over here? Oh, I was like, who's talking? You're talking, John.
Werner, are you alright?
Oh, yes. Everything's fine. In fact, it's something of a family reunion. My brother spent quite some time in this place himself.
You should not be here. I told the police everything I knew, but they refused to let you go. They require proof to free you.
Ha! What did you expect? The mighty Sherlock Holmes swans in, tells the officers what to think, and the world obeys?
Of course not. Anyway, I struck a deal with the constable, and I've got a free hand in the investigation. I find proof to solve the case for him. He obtains files about my mother's death for me.
Well done. If one has the power or will and can act, then one must. I wonder, suppose you couldn't get the proof to your truth. Would you tell a lie to the guard that enabled my freedom, knowing my innocence? Would that not be just?
There are lines I will not cross, Werner. I will do my best to secure your release, but with proof, not deception.
Really? How many white lies have you told on this island? Why not for me? Why not another?
That is absurd. I can resolve this without compromises. Do not give up hope.
Okay. So weird to say this. So weird to say that when, like, I gave the painting away. Mind you, it's either consequences where the children don't get their warm place, but I don't know. I don't trust that guy to provide fair there. They're a fair little workhouse. Okay, so what are the things I need to... It's a bunch of things I need to talk about.
I'm not supposed to know anything about this.
Okay, fine.
I have learned who told the police about the crime. It was Santos Pinchetti,
Do I know him?
the major domo of the manor. He cleans up after you.
Well, then he does his job perfectly. All but invisible. I couldn't tell you the first thing about him.
Great. Is that it?
I know you can untangle this.
That's it. Really? Okay. Great. Witness disposition.
Mess.
I'm just curious, am I gonna expect it to be wear these robes the entire time, or do they want to be able to easily identify me? Can I change here? Oh, I can. Thank God. Okay. Is everyone still just... Everyone's just having a party out here. Okay. I need to get to the evidence room. Hi, Tommy. I need to get to the evidence room, which I'm going to assume is on the other side. Yeah, no, they're just super drunk. Ah, evidence.
Good day. Your ticket, please, if you want me to help you.
Okay, where's this ticket? No, here. Evidence
I'd like to
ticket?
check the evidence from this case.
And who are you?
Oswald sent me. I'm a consulting detective.
His partner, then? Let me see. Ah, a ritual murder. What a bunch of degenerates. Wait a second. I'll bring it to the table.
Okay, this is everything? Everything?
That's not for bedtime reading.
Blood and Mandrake. The power of love, blood, and Mandrake. Okay. Anything...
This Ex Libris belongs to Manchios Library.
The police found this occult book in Batista's bag during the arrest. According to the Ex Libris, the tome was taken from Mr. Manchio's collection. It contains illustrations and descriptions of a ritual similar to the crime scene. Prepare the naked body of a recently deceased object of interest. Draw symbols of Mars and Venus to enhance the power you possess. To use the force of male and female nature. Pierce his heart with a golden dagger to be rid of the blood that does not love you. Draw a symbol representing your love while waiting for the resurrection. Recite the charm. Sorry. Pierce his heart with a golden dagger to be rid of the blood that does not love you.
The book describes a ritual similar to the one performed in the altar room.
Okay.
Her key to the altar room. A handcrafted charm that contains hair and nail clippings.
Alright, well, that was all of hers, I'm gonna assume. Oh, come on.
All the keys of the mansion on one golden ring. It's a miracle this ruby hasn't tempted anyone.
Okay, this would be... Manchio? Manchio stuff?
A heavily perfumed handkerchief with the initials KM in the corner.
Okay, I'm gonna assume this is Vogel.
An emergency kit for boredom.
Letter from Fabio. The letter that was found in Vogel's evidence box. Is your mind unsound? You cannot control your bitterness, not around me anyway. For me, it's too great a risk to ignore that kind of behavior. I can speak, and play with anyone I choose. I am not another Batista. You pay me, but you haven't bought me. Of course, I'll keep all your generous donations, even though they hardly compensate for your last terrible outburst. I'm leaving you, although Batista will still be around. Okay.
Not the time for privacy.
So I'm wondering if that is specifically for...
Werner's personal sketchbook.
Manchio.
Thank you, officer.
Okay. So, it may possibly not have been the guy. Alright. Letter from Fabio. So where is everybody located? Not there. Just wanted to see if any... do any side missions ever show up there again? It's the archive. Oh, you're here. Okay, at the very least I know you're here now. Okay.
So, the police found a letter from Fabio in your pocket.
I cannot tell if it was truly in my pocket at all. Perhaps it was placed there later.
Well, that is one hypothesis. If it were true, then how did it get there?
No clue. But this night has been rather eccentric. Such a detail could have easily eluded me.
Indeed. Do you recall reading it?
I can't remember that either. But I tend to respect privacy. Reading others' personal notes is not one of my perversities.
Okay.
The air here is rather refreshing. I'd even recommend that some of my friends visit the place.
Alright, what else do we've got here? Letter from Fabio, Power of Love, Witness Deposition, Gifted Cufflink. Do I just... I'm wondering if I talk to the inspector about this, or what his details may be on it. So I know he is in the archive room right here.
I'm doing my part. You should do yours too, Holmes.
Alright, you're in the archive because you're checking things out. Okay, so where is...
This area is restricted.
Okay, good to know. So they're not having me search everywhere and everything. Oh, do I need to Mind Palace? I need to put things together, that's what it is. Okay. Where's the Major Domo, though? Has limited access to all the rooms. Okay, nothing that. Murder clean themselves. Okay, what does this say? Pinchetti is a suspect who should be arrested and questioned. He had a key which he did not mention in his deposition. Okay. Which is probably something we can go to, Okay. Oh wait, this should be... Wait, where's the Power of Love? No? Just trying to see. Vogel held the letter. Is there nothing else here, really? Okay, maybe I can't do that yet? It's the only thing I can think of. At the very least, we do need to tell the... So... So I'm gonna assume I can only be in this area. Here we go.
Have you considered Mr. Santos Pinchetti as a suspect?
The snitch? Have you seen him? I mean, my breath could knock him down. What's so special about him?
As a major domo, he has keys that open all the rooms, including the one to the crime scene. Could have testified only to circumvent suspicion, don't you think? We need to question him.
Right. I'll send our men to fetch him. Stay here. They brought him in, Mr. Holmes. Here's the key to interrogation room number 7. Mr. Pinchetti didn't even resist, our men said.
Thank you.
Okay. So, interrogation room number 7. John, what are you doing? Okay, we do have, there are room, almost one thing I wasn't sure about, if there was room numbers. 7. Why are you just standing there in the darkness? Come on. Please. No? I'm like holding it, there we go.
I recognize the key from the altar room among these.
Kurt Manchio's will and note. A small note attached to the will says, Santos, my hopeful slug. You begged me to include you in my will, so I did. Here's my latest revision of the will. The text of the will under the note. Santos Pinchetti, the majordomo of the Manchio's mansion, receives a jar of mustache wax and a salt lamp that he may always remember his caring employer, Kurt Manchio. Okay. Yeah, I do not see how that's gonna go well. Just want to see if there's anything here I can look at. Nope. Alright.
Mr. Pinchetti, a pleasure to meet you. I'm Sherlock Holmes. I'm helping Constable Oswald.
I've already told him everything I know. I'm only a witness, sir. Everything's in my report.
And I've read it. You forgot to mention that you hold the keys to the room where Fabio was found. I need only to find if the crime was intentional.
But I need to return to my duties.
I doubt the house will fall without you, Mr. Pinchetti. Just be still for a few seconds.
Okay. Oh no, observations. Problem is, if we get these wrong, it can really screw with the investigation. Is there nothing on his face? Nothing? Okay, what am I... Colored more than once. Dyed textile. Okay. What does that even mean? Anything with his hands? Stepped in blood. We can't look at his hands? No? I just realized there's like little golden lights, fireflies around certain evidence. Patched holes, repaired multiple times. Pyrosis or allergy. What? Okay, Santos Pinchetti is the head servant at the Manchio's mansion. Despite being employed at the highest position within the household, he appears to be poor. Despite having enough money, Mr. Pinchetti spends as little of it as possible. Cheap makeup hides his imperfection on his body in an attempt to look more modern. Mr. Pinchetti has dyed his suit on several occasions to save even more money. The majordomo appears to have personally repaired multiple holes in the suit. Terrible miser. Has financial difficulties. Santos Pinchetti is the head servant. Okay, that's so... Okay, so that part does not change, that first paragraph, so it's really the second. His body shows symptoms of psoriasis. Mr. Pinchetti hides his damaged skin under layers of makeup. The majordomo suit had multiple holes that had been patched or sewn to renovate the suit's look. Okay. What do you mean by terrible miser? Oh, despite having enough money. Okay. Well... Okay, so it's either saying that he's frugal to the point of absurdness or is having financial difficulties. This blood step doesn't really have anything, it's more to do with the case itself, but nothing to do with his portrait. Okay, I'm gonna say financial difficulties, especially if he's asking to be put on the will. That would suggest to me someone seeking money. suits on several occasions. Yeah. Hopefully this is right. Oh, dear God. Thank God I clicked it. To renovate the suit's look. Yeah, because one thing I actually do not get, how do you dye a suit on several occasions to look more modern? I don't know. Well, let's go with this one. Oh, I have to hold.
You are the majordomo of a rich mansion, and you seem barely able to afford decent clothing. You hide, under heavy makeup, a skin disease that might be treated with more onerous but less harmful means. Do you have money troubles?
I do not have a lot of means. The pay is below what you might expect.
But you could easily change your job if your employer does not meet your elementary needs.
One can change his employer, that is true.
And the blood on your shoe, where does that come from?
I don't actually know. Perhaps from a guest?
Okay.
Did you know Fabio?
Not personally. He was a frequent guest, and cleaning the mess after his performances was tedious. Mr. Manchios always had a role for him, and mainly the leading one. The parties were always, Fabio-centric?
And Matista? Was she as popular as her partner?
Don't tell her I said this, but I do not think so. Mr. Manchios hired her only because Fabio refused to work without her. Mr. Manchios used to see her as a worker. She was tasked with entertaining the guests, unlike Fabio, who could pick and choose.
Okay. All right.
Mr. Manchios says that you begged him to be included in the heritage. Isn't that a little extreme, even for a majordomo?
He's not only my employer, he's my uncle. And I'm his next of kin. The only one. Mr. Manchios flatly refuses to pay a family member. All I have to do is repay his so-called love, cleaning up the filth after perverts and decadents. He's imprisoned me. The best I can hope for is a new broom. That's why I wanted to have my part of the inheritance.
Is it that bad? You have a roof above your head, a salary, and the status of a majordomo.
For God's sake. I'm forced to dye and stitch my threadbare clothes, and the holes in my shoes are painful. I'm ashamed every time a guest looks at me closely.
Why do you think your uncle treats you this way?
My mother, my uncle's sister, had me illegitimately. She died, and I was given the surname of one of the maids.
But you are entitled to some of the money that belongs to your family.
He thinks not. I was not responsible for my mother's death. I work hard, and he pays me nothing. I feed on the leftovers. While he wastes our estate's property on decadent parties, he paid Fabio handsomely and showered him with expensive gifts for their disgusting relationship.
Is that it?
Please let me out.
Is that okay? That's it. Okay. Mind Palace again. So, this is the. Where's the? Lancio Mock Pinchetti. I thought there was something about the cuffs, but I guess not. Or maybe I'm thinking of the actual, within the actual clues. Okay, but Santos Pinchetti's efforts in vain. Pinchetti has been forced to work for Kurt Mancio in the desperate hope of obtaining heritage, but it hasn't paid off. Okay. The murder cleaned itself. This is still... Santos Pinchetti failed to notice a bloodstain on the side of his shoe while cleaning himself after murder, if it is him. And then we're gonna have, like, some other option later on. Power of love... Oh, here we go. Okay, the letter may have been for Manchios. According to Santos Pinchetti, and by the contents of the letter, it may have been addressed to Kurt Manchios. Anything else? Okay, just making sure. I wonder if... No, I already did that. Don't think there may be anything else. Okay, just really making sure. So, let's see what we've got here. Letter from Fabio. I still need to... There's a bunch of conversation points I have not been able to bring up.
I have reason to believe that the intended recipient of the incriminating letter may have been Kurt Manchios.
Well, that makes sense. Too bad I can't remember how I came to possess it. Though I did spend quite some time with Mr. Manchios during the party.
Unfortunately, even with an answer, that may still not be enough to clear you with the police. But fear not, I will persevere.
I hope your attempt to put things straight will make up for...
You being on a bender?
Touché.
Okay. So who else do I talk to? Eventually, are these rooms just gonna be filled up with various...
Please let me out.
Various... people? Is this Matista?
I'm Sherlock Holmes. I'm helping Constable Oswald. You are Matista, Fabio's friend.
This body, yes, it's Matista. But it's a mere shell that will die someday. Just like Fabio.
Okay. His end was predictable? It's not...
Please accept my condolences for your friend.
Thank you.
I'm just here to ask questions and find Fabio's murderer.
It will not bring Fabio back.
Okay. Well, first thing, the most obvious thing is this, she inked herself. I feel like that when, I mean, you would have to look down. My god, your neck. Is it okay? Obtain blood-filled bruises. Okay, that's strangulation, but depending on what the, clientele... Oh. Inflicted with a branding iron, the slave brand. So that's why. Self-inflicted old and healing cuts. Oh. Bitten nails, nervous. Okay, I need to look for... There we go. Old and barely visible. Okay. Bitten nails, blood-filled bruises. Okay, Matista, the performer and Fabio's partner, has had a difficult life. She was branded and enslaved while still a child. While enslaved, she met Fabio, hence their similar branding. Old scars are the result of her slavery during adolescence. She continues to be haunted by these traumatic experiences. Matista seems to be pragmatic about her body after years of abuse. She sells herself to the guests who do whatever they want to her. She's not afraid to step over the line. Also, Matista marks her body with ink. Okay? Okay, so it's just the second half that basically changes. She has a genuine interest in mysticism. Since she has a tattoo... She has tattooed on her body with occult symbols. Matista tries to get over her past, and the life of a performer seems to be an opportunity for her to earn money. Okay. So, nervous. This is recent. That's like from, I guess, I guess, doing the job. This is old. This is old. Old and healing cuts, self-inflicted. Now, obviously, I want to go with the dissociate because the way she talked when, like, this body will die. It could also be the mysticism, right? It's pragmatic. But this, she's not afraid to step over the line. I feel like that part really would not explain the self-inflicted part. So I want to say punishes herself for the past, which I don't know, her doing this job is also part of it. Yeah, the pragmatic part, that's the part that's kind of like, I don't know. Because I'm not quite sure what this... It's really just this it's the self-inflicted cuts that seal the deal for her punishing herself for her past. And yeah, and then like the inking herself is more in line with a genuine interest in mysticism. I don't think this even actually... Does this meant... Yeah. Okay. So we'll go with this one. And hope it's right.
Fabio and yourself were slaves, am I correct? You have a similar branding on your body.
Yes. It was a long time ago.
Couldn't help but also notice fresh cuts upon your forearms.
The cuts helped me to forget my past, to cover the old wounds and hide them.
How did you escape?
Something happened. One night the master fell down the stairs. I made him fall, and he died. We ran away that day. We managed to get on a ship and traveled here, to Gordona. Fabio and I started a new life here. It was very hard at first, but it became better with time. Until today.
Okay.
The bruises on your neck are not self-inflicted. Someone else made them.
Some guests can't contain themselves. They even bite, sometimes.
Alright. I think obviously the one thing we need to ask about is... Can we ask about the book? Invitation, yellow press, smoking lounge.
I have nothing to say.
Okay, nothing about that. Can we ask about the book? Keys to interrogation room.
I have nothing to add.
Okay. Here goes.
This book, The Power of Love, Blood, and Mandrake, what do you hope to achieve?
To learn more about the invisible strengths that govern us. Occultism is real. The master who fell that night when Fabio and I escaped. I made him fall. I cast a spell on him and it worked.
Or was it a coincidence?
The universe is rarely so lazy.
If you say so.
Okay. So yeah, because of that, she's really a big believer. What's on this one? Is your...
Could Fabio have written this letter to Kurt Manchios?
Oh. That could be. I never thought Mr. Manchios could make Fabio that angry, though.
What do you mean?
Well, Fabio wanted to disassociate from Mr. Manchios. Clients who are in love are both a blessing and a curse.
But Fabio was here tonight.
Money. In our line of work, we can't afford to turn down clients who pay as well as Kurt Manchios.
Was Fabio afraid of Mr. Manchios?
Not at all. The old toad wouldn't dare to do more than sweet talk and touching. Talk can be forgotten, and touching washed away.
Do you practice occult rituals?
For protection? For fortune? To wash away the ugliness of the world? Sometimes to survive. I have the gift, and I'm learning to use it better.
Did you use your gift on Fabio?
I only used white magic. Love charms lately. Fabio became so distant. I just wanted him to be with me, but I suppose I'm not as skilled as I thought.
Okay. What should I, Exactly what should I be... Interesting. Batista trusted in the cult over Fabio. Batista has fresh bruises. Okay, Matissa suffered bruises on her body from brutal interactions with the guests during the party. Fabio was burning bridges with Munch. Is there something we can put this together with? Yeah, there's this as well. Batista may have used the ritual on Fabio. Batista may have performed the ritual on Fabio to bring his love back. Okay. I'm just trying to see... where... what, is gonna go with what... if there's anything. I mean, there's so much here, that's what makes me, like, think, oh, something has to connect to something else, but... Fabio was assaulted in a nearby room. Murder cleaned themselves. He's detained because of the letter. Which, I mean, it's not gonna be Vogel, let's be real, but... Santos Pinchetti has revealed details of the crime scene in his deposition to the police. Fabio was burning bridges. Matisse was bruised recently. Okay, I was wondering. Fabio bruised Matisse during their fight in the smoking lounge. Fabio bruised Matista. Honestly, at this point, I don't know. Would Fabio put his hands around her neck? That's the real thing that I'm thinking of here. Oh, this I can... no? Not those two? Okay. Oh, those two go together? Okay. Pinchetti missed the blood spatter. So what's this one? Accidentally stepped in blood, or... Just wondering if there's... Okay. There we go. So like I have to be missing something else. I already did that. Alright. So I guess the only other person... Who else can I talk to?
I know I can handle the news.
Like, I have so many... Oh, here you are.
Good day, Mr. Manchios. I am Constable Oswald's partner in this investigation.
Be quick and gentle. Some of your colleagues are untrained boors. Although I don't mind meeting young officers. The new blood here.
Dude,
if you
not
cooperate
the
in
time.
finding Fabio's murderer, there will be no need to meet with the boars again.
That voice. Werner's friend? You're the policeman. What a disappointment.
Only an undercover agent can scour a ditch full of deviants. I am a consulting detective, although I'm capable of replacing the entire department through my consultations.
Sharp-tongued, I like it. May I presume this tongue will get us out of this trouble? I would be so indebted and glad to repay you.
Nothing's changed. I'm looking for the murderer. That's the only way to get us out of trouble.
But it shouldn't take much time, correct? We're all busy, after all.
I need to examine you first.
Okay. Don't get too excited, sir. Wears makeup. Okay, for what reason though? Okay, so I need to look for the... Here we go. Rash from exposure to hair dye. Okay. So... he's getting older and he's trying to hide it. So one... Washed hands in a hurry. That's not looking good. Lavishly expensive. Okay. Hides his age, sticker for cleanliness. Well, obviously, I feel like, especially with the hair dye thing, it would be hides his age. But let's read this anyway. Out of curiosity, okay, it's the second paragraph that changes. Kurt Manchio is extremely rich, eccentric, and frivolous. He's the organizer of the parties of Cordona's elite and the owner of the Manchio's mansion. He spends his life in the company of similarly overprivileged people. However, his being sociable in this manner has made him cautious regarding his health. He uses chemicals and hair dye to clean and improve himself to the extent that it damages his skin. Otherwise, however, Mr. Macho wishes to hide his true age from the younger participants of his parties. He is concerned with aging due to the point where he uses makeup and hair dye to look younger. I feel like that would make the most sense. The stickler for cleanliness doesn't... Okay.
You are a little over the top with your use of makeup, Mr. Manchios. Is it so difficult for you to acknowledge your age?
Well, Sherlock, that's easy for you to say to an old man when you look as though you are barely 15.
But still, it shouldn't be an issue for someone of your status.
For people of my age, it isn't an issue, no. But the younger ones can be so afraid of wrinkles and grey flecks. I have to adapt.
Such a methodical man who cares for his body but misses the soap under his fingernails. Are you so impatient, or perhaps even impulsive?
I wouldn't call myself that. Silly little details. If I missed it, it wasn't important. Or rather, it was less important than who or what I was focused on.
Okay.
Mr. Vogel told me a little about your parties, but I would like to know more directly from you.
I'm all yours, Sherlock. You have me arrested and locked here, with you alone.
I'd like to know who you usually invite to your parties.
Free minds who are able to leave reality for an evening, who can taste forbidden fruit without prejudice. There is nothing that quite spices up life like these parties, assuming one is old enough and has worked many years for the good of one's country.
Oh, all true labourers, I see. Why did you invite Mr. Vogel as your special guest?
He's a pretty fellow. He's capable of surprising the public. He has a talent for saying words that no one else would wish to either say or hear.
I suppose I can't argue with that.
He is a free addition to the eccentricity of the party, which is fine by me, as long as it enhances my party.
What was Fabio like? His personality, his habits? Anything you can tell me?
He was the brightest star of my parties. Young, magnetic, and full of energy. I don't even want to mention his beauty. Otherwise, I'll be sobbing.
An expensive champion, I imagine.
His performances were flawless. He deserved his payment. Do you think he was murdered because of money?
Possibly. What about the other guests? Were they used to opening their wallets as well?
I wouldn't restrict my guests from anything. I'm sure Fabio received a few coins from others for his services.
Okay. So...
You bought an expensive pair of cufflinks for Fabio. Were they his price? Or were they a tip for an exclusive show?
It was pure business. Fabio escorted me a few times. I was merely showing my gratitude.
This pair cost a small fortune. You must be extremely grateful then. Tell me more.
You've thrust a knife in an exposed nerve, Sherlock. Yes, he was my protégé and my beacon also. With my experience, and his beauty, we could have achieved anything. I had faith in him. I would have made him.
Okay, why are you taking that tone? Smoking lounge. Just trying to see, I'm trying to remember who I can talk to about certain things. Oh, I can probably...
I've no idea about that.
Okay.
You'd better ask someone else.
Do you recognize this book? Could Matista have borrowed it from your library?
She didn't ask me. How ungrateful.
The things described in the book were inspiration for the rituals you performed?
Do you really believe that blood, symbols, and incantations can resurrect the dead? They are just eerie tales with a mix of occultism and voodoo. My rituals are a stage to show some of the forbidden pleasures.
Okay.
I've read the letter about your will. A harsh method of ridiculing Santos. I doubt he will use mustache wax when he wears no mustache to begin with.
Where did you get it? Is the slug here? Tell him. I shouldn't have to provide for him. He's a grown man who shouldn't sit on his uncle's neck. He conceives himself as my only heir.
And who is he to you?
He's a leech on my aging body. He has only added problems to my life since the death of his mother.
I fail to see why you made him your major domo.
He needed to know his place, so I taught him.
Okay.
I've no idea about that.
Do you have any idea who tipped off the police to raid your mansion, Mr. Manchios?
Of course. It was you. I could even say you Sherlocked me in here.
A good guess, but the wrong one. The fellow who did that was Mr. Pinchetti, your major domo.
What? Santos? But how could he even know? If he's not the murderer himself. The ungrateful swine. He has dared to besmirch my reputation.
Not a very eloquent choice of words.
What should I call him then, since he's a snitch? Make him talk, Sherlock. I'm quite certain he knows more about the murder than he has told the police.
Okay. Just trying to see...
That's not something I know much about. I've no idea about that.
Police investigation... Oh. I didn't read this part properly. Just says keys in interrogation room, but it says 5 to 6, so that's how I was supposed to find them. It is clear their murderer had the key. If I found out who had the key...
I've no idea about that. You'd better ask someone else.
Okay. Don't think anything else. Everything else is about with the police. So the only thing left should be...
You'd better ask someone else. That's not something I know much about.
Okay, I'm just gonna...
There is undeniable evidence that you were the original recipient of this letter.
What are you talking about? Is it addressed to me?
Your protege wanted a fresh start, it seems. This is sufficient to charge you.
Me? Hurt my star? Are you insane that you would accuse me of such a thing?
He did not consider himself as yours. Since you deny everything, let's move on. Do you have any idea as to how the letter could have ended up in Mr. Vogel's pocket?
You were the detective. Perhaps he took it from Fabio. Werner was a little high.
Okay. Ooh, your coattail is freaking out. Alright. Let's look at the Mind Palace again. Oh boy. He has a washing routine. Okay. Kurt Machio carefully prepared himself before the depravity. And then I'm guessing we will tie this up with this one. So, either he cleaned himself for purposes of murder. Either Vogel or Machios is lying. Not that one. This one. Okay. Not really choosing one. Fabio shadowed Kurt Manchios' feelings. All clues found for current case. What? That's it? Okay. Okay, no. This would be who I could, who I can, make my final decision.
This letter proves nothing. Fabio wrote it to Mr. Manchios. It's time to free Mr. Vogel.
Do you really think I'm that naive? I need proof, not words from his friend.
Very well. Mr. Pinchetti told me that Mr. Manchios was lavishing Fabio with expensive and eccentric gifts. The letter mentions rich rewards and attempts to buy Fabio with them. It was written to Mr. Manchios. Who else was showering Fabio with luxuries to buy him? It doesn't fit Mr. Vogel's character.
Look here. We had a deal. Give me the murderer and then take your friend with you. I won't budge otherwise.
Well, fine, but you're just wasting time.
Continue our investigation while I look for the papers.
Okay. Alright, so, what else is there to do now? Just go to everyone, see who I can talk with them.
Are you done yet? Can I leave?
Okay, I'm gonna assume no. Is there anything more I can talk about?
I know I can handle the news.
Oh, you know what? I can do the Mind Palace stuff. Okay. Boy. So. We can either... Santos Pinchetti is the murderer. Pinchetti has worked for his uncle for years in the deep hope of obtaining his heritage. Macchio's hostility and humiliation pushed Pinchetti to kill Fabio and frame his uncle. Macchio's imprisonment would make Pinchetti the only lawful heir. Okay. Now if we... Okay, the ritual is definitely a cover. Well, no, if we want to, because this one would be more Matista's side of thing. Oh, interesting. And then either Macchio planted the letter. This one is Batista. Batista was afraid of Fabio's growing popularity and ambition. She wanted to keep him with her for as long as possible. In the last-ditch effort, Batista conducted a love ritual during which she killed Fabio. So there's that. Oh, sorry. Wrong one. And then, then there's this one. Fabio broke Kurt Macchio's heart. For years, Fabio played with Kurt Macchio's heart and abused his interest in the young performer. When Macchio received yet another rejection, he murdered Fabio and staged a love ritual to avoid suspicion. Okay. So, those are 3 suspects. I feel like... Santos, at this point, is, there's nothing really that points to him that much, maybe? I mean, let's read everything. Let's read over all our evidence so far. This is where the long part of the video comes in. Okay, so this we ignore, this we can ignore. I wish there's a way we can just, like, check mark it as done where we don't have to look at it. Because this doesn't really, this doesn't really come into play. A private room where guests can smoke in comfort. There were droplets of blood on the carpet. A wine bottle stained with blood was lying on the floor. I found some blood drops and a handprint on the door frame. Okay, ceremonial knife stuck in his chest lies on the ritual stone in the altar room. It's Fabio. There's a lot of blood around. There is a lot of blood around, mainly coming from the wound in his chest. The laceration on his head seems to be from blunt force trauma, which is the wine bottle. The left fist of the victim was clutching fabric. Fabio met his death here. A worm-like sigil on the victim's stomach was drawn with his blood. Most probably, the victim had appeared to cover his slave branding with crude tattoo. The murderer drew symbols of Mars and Venus on the walls with the victim's blood. Fabio's murder. The murderer attacked Fabio in the smoking lounge, striking his head with a wine bottle. The attacker then hurried to lock the altar room's door from the inside with their own key. The dying Fabio was dragged to the altar. The attacker pierced Fabio's chest with a ritual dagger and used his blood to draw occult symbols around the altar. So the symbols were drawn after he was stabbed in the chest? The murderer hid the bloodstained clothes in the old wardrobe. The murderer washed the blood from himself and picked up a new robe before leaving the altar room unnoticed. Okay. I think the only this, because why would Matista be wearing the robe? Why would Santos? Unless Santos was trying to frame him for the crime. That's the only other reason. But Matista, I think takes Matista out because it doesn't make sense for her to be wearing the robe after she committed the murder. Okay, Vogel's testimony. Vogel gave me a key so I could talk to someone named Fabio in the altar room. Fabio was dead when I found him. The door was locked the first time Vogel tried to enter the room to talk to Fabio. After an hour, Vogel attempted to open it again, and that time nothing blocked the keyhole from the inside, so he was able to enter. According to Vogel, Fabio was a performer and an entertainer for the rich guests. Matista was Fabio's fellow artist, and she worked with him. Mr. Manchios is the owner of the mansion and the organizer of the parties. Vogel doesn't know who could have had the key to the room and proposes to ask Mr. Manchios about it. Following report from a witness of a satanic ritual who claimed to have found a body. The raid on the Manchios mansion was granted. It resulted in multiple arrests of multiple suspects, dispersal of a group of mass, The body of the victim was found lying on the altar with a knife wound in his chest. The provider of this ticket has permission to inspect all evidence. Okay. I, Santos Pichetti, am a witness who reports a suspicion of murder at Manchio's mansion in Grand Saray. During preparations for the social party, I heard loud noises from the closed altar room. Immediately, I thought of the sacrifice of a living being overviewed by none other than Kurt Manchios. There is blood on the walls, strange symbols, and a dagger in the heart. As soon as I was able to think clearly, I rushed to the police station to report my findings. The station responded to the deposition by sending patrol, while the witness left the station and went home. Okay. Immediately, I thought of the sacrifice of a living being being overviewed by none other than Kurt Manchios. The police arrested me during the raid. Okay, that's nothing. See, this here could sound like a setup, so that's why I'm like, okay. I think Matista, because of the rope thing, we can clear her out. It doesn't make sense for her to... I mean, where's she gonna hide the rope after she finds a clean one? It doesn't make sense at all. Because I'm assuming she would be wearing the same as the ones that are entertaining the guests. She wouldn't be wearing the robe. Vogel is under arrest. I asked Vogel about Santos Pinchetti. He doesn't know how Fabio's letter got into his pocket. He didn't read it. I'm kind of curious if, since I do think he's Moriarty, if even if it is actually like if it is Manchios, like he took the letter in order to incriminate him a bit more. The question is, like, do I have evidence at all to say that? Do I have any evidence that proves that the letter was handed over to Vogel during his time of during his drugged out state? Okay, can't bother with that. A small note attached to the will says, Santos, my hopeful slug. You begged me to include you in my will, so I did. Here's my latest revision of the will. An assault lamp that he may always remember his caring employer. Despite being a major domo, he appears to be poor. Mr. Princetti wants to inherit Manchio's property. He believes that his uncle, Mr. Manchios, does not appreciate his effort and dedication. Batista, the performer. Okay. Matista is a performer, former slave, the occult book. That's her profile. Okay, gifted cufflinks. His gratitude to Fabio. Okay, so I think these two things. What does this say? Extremely rich, eccentric. He may have been the recipient of an angry letter from Fabio. So let's read Fabio's letter first. Is your mind unsound? You can't control your bitterness. Not around me, anyway. For me, it's too great a risk to ignore that kind of behavior. I can speak, and play with anyone I choose. I am not another Matista. You pay me, but you haven't bought me. Of course, I'll keep all your generous donations, even though they hardly compensate for your last terrible outburst. I am leaving you, although Matista will still be around. Fabio. The letter found in Vogel's pocket may have been addressed to Kurt Manchios. Santos mentions Manchios gifting strange and expensive gifts to Fabio. In the letter, Fabio mentions gifts he would keep due to someone's temperament. It seems that Fabio wrote the angry letter to Manchios. Vogel thinks it's possible it was addressed to Manchios. He is unable to explain how it came to be inside his pocket. Matista agrees that it may have been addressed to Manchios. Fabio wanted to break off all connections with Mr. Manchios, but was unable to for financial reasons. Manchios denies any connection with the letter and claims that Vogel took it from Fabio. The Power of Love, Blood, and Mandrake. The police found this occult book in Batista's bag during the arrest. According to the Ex Libris, the tomb was taken from Mr. Manchios' collection. It contains illustrations similar to the ritual. Prepare the naked body of a recently deceased object of interest. Draw symbols of Mars and Venus to enhance the power you possess. To use the force of male and female nature. Pierce his heart with a golden dagger to be rid of the blood that does not love you. Draw a symbol representing your love. While waiting for the resurrection, recite the charm. Okay. So yeah, you're supposed to draw the symbols beforehand and then pierce it. So I think that clearly, since Batista is so genuine with her towards the occultism, she would be following the procedures, the rituals, the instructions in the rituals to as close to the letter as possible. So we can definitely mark her off the board. Can't permit Matista to take it. Matista claims she used occultism for various purposes, used some white magic on Fabio. Okay. So, I mean, the most obvious one would be Kurt Manchio. Mancio was heartbroken and panicked and did not mean to kill Fabio. The imprisoned... we mean did not mean to kill Fabio. The improvised ritual was a desperate attempt to cover up the crime. Unless, okay, the only thing I can think of is that he thought Fabio was dead when he hit him with the bottle. A prison sentence should be enough for his harsher punishment is the death of his love. Mancio killed Fabio in cold blood. He staged the crime as a ritual to blame Battista. He planted the letter in Vogel's pocket to avoid suspicion. Mancio has no consideration for the life of others and deserves to be hanged. Interesting. I mean... because I could still see this being very much a crime of passion. Because what doesn't... I mean, here's the thing, like... just because it's a crime of passion in the moment doesn't mean he didn't do this afterwards. That's the thing I'm not liking about this. I mean, right now there's just more to pin this on to... not pin this, but to say that it's Mancio than Santos, even though... because there's just Santos, there really just is no connection in terms of the rituals. I don't think he quite understands what his uncle is doing. He just sees him as this extremely hedonistic man. Okay, out of curiosity, if I go back to people... so he's in, wait, he's in room... oh no, wait. Wrong room. Back here, my bad. Yeah, and then we accuse.
Thank you for your cooperation, Mr. Pinchetti. We'll continue later.
So... the one thing I'm confused about right now is between the crime of passion thing and the cold-blooded part. Well, no wait, no matter what, because even if we do the Mind Palace, no matter what, it's... he planted the letter. But this just means, in cold-blooded, this just means he did it way beforehand, or he like thought everything out. I would put this down to a crime of passion. I'm so tempted to save. I'm gonna do it. I'm saving the second spot. Just because I don't... this is the part where I'm wary about the, I'm extremely wary about how this is gonna play out in terms of crime of passion or the sexual predator.
The murder of Fabio did not have a ritual purpose, Mr. Manchios. It was staged by a man who wished to distract the investigation.
That might be true. That poor girl Matista wouldn't dare to kill the only man who cared for her. So, Santos...
Mr. Pinchetti snatched at the chance to solve his problems.
Ungrateful little scum. Will he be executed?
But what for? He informed the police as to the crime, that was all. He couldn't stage the ritual, but he found the body, I believe.
I can't believe it. Why did Werner do it?
Mr. Vogel. He had no reason, and he won't be a scapegoat as you planned. You put Fabio's letter in his pocket when he was intoxicated, didn't you?
You can't be serious.
We can very often deduce someone's life by their shoes, or their fingernails. You are a meticulous person, but this murder was fairly traumatic and filthy. After you stabbed Fabio, you were covered in blood. You panicked and neglected to rinse the soap from under your fingernails. The devil is in the details, Mr. Manchios.
Nonsense. I missed it simply because of the busy schedule of the party.
Of course, a staged murder was certainly not planned. You're at the twilight of your life. You have no partner, you have no children. You had feelings, however, for one man. That was Fabio. You loved him. That is, you wished to own him with money and gifts. But he was also a free mind, was he not? He turned his back on you. Quite unjust. Love, so cruel and painful, and Fabio, with his words and deeds, made you feel the more wretched. So you killed him.
You must surely perceive that my sensitive nature wouldn't allow me to hurt anyone.
You staged the murder as a satanic ritual. It was easy for you, since you were the one who wrote the scenarios for the parties. It was your way of avoiding suspicion. A respectable man in his 60s,
Early 60s.
who hosts the cream of Cordona's society, cannot possibly be a murderer. But the guests who behave like animals in his mansion, of course, one of them could have killed Fabio.
I did oversee a few of the rituals, but I did not stage Fabio's death.
Okay.
Fabio played with your feelings. That was painful to realize. You spent so much time and effort to be with Fabio, but he didn't respond in the way that you would have liked. You wanted to be loved, but Fabio shattered your dreams. In the smoking lounge, he teased and mocked you. He wanted you to suffer by offering himself to others. The deception was unbearable. You were passionate, and so you struck him. Once you understood your mistake, it was too late. You were afraid, so you staged the ritual. With such a story, you might be sentenced to a few years. It might clean your conscience, and soon the case will be forgotten.
No. No.
This is my decision. I'll talk to Constable Oswald to see what I can do.
Okay. The anxiety I feel for this game. Can I talk to him still?
I know you can untangle this mess.
There's no fool like an old fool. Kurt Manchios did it. A young boy played with the heart of an old man. The latter couldn't handle it. The evidence I obtained clearly shows that the quarrel was not intended to end badly. It was an accident.
Showing pity towards your own kind, Holmes. Whatever.
All I'm saying is that prison won't take much away from an old and crushed man.
Fine. A big name like that will still give me a promotion. As for my part, not everything was in place. Perhaps some documents were transferred somewhere else, but I couldn't find a trace of them. Then I remembered. The discarded document drawers where we put the lost papers or the badly labelled ones, including the crime scene report of Violet Holmes's case. Everything I've found is on the desk here. Take it.
Your persistence has saved me.
Yeah, well, we had a deal after all. Your friend is free then. You can leave.
Good luck, Constable.
Okay. So... on the desk behind me... Okay, report number 0743. Officers arrived to find the deceased identified as Mrs. Violet Holmes lying in the garden of Stonewood Manor. Visual inspection showed the victim to be thoroughly soaked with a deep vertical incision 2 inches in length down her throat. Her face was swollen and covered in red blotches. Likely cause of death, hypoxia. Waiting confirmation from the medical examiner. Main suspect, Otto Richer, was arrested on the scene. The body was sent for autopsy. Okay, that's a pretty major thing.
The garden. There's a garden behind our manor. How could I forget? That's where it all happened, where it all went wrong.
Sherry, it looks like you've almost found what you wanted.
Okay, I'm gonna assume it's not gonna be a good thing though. Alright. I'm... hypoxia. She drowned, my mother drowned. Her throat wound could either be a final humiliation by her killer or a desperate attempt to save her. The slit on my mother's throat was an attempt to try. It makes no sense to do this if she was drowning. Okay. So I'm kind of curious. If, I want to look it up. I want to look up whether this case... Oh, boy. I need to get rid of all these. Really? Come on. Just need to... String theory. I just want all the exclamation points gone. Sacrificial lamb. Because it's not like you know if you're right or wrong. I really want to know. There's nothing that, leads it to... I mean, I didn't see anything. I just can't help but be extremely, extremely nervous about my choices. So I don't want to get the wrong person. But it's gonna happen. Especially if I overthink things. Okay. So let's just scroll all the way down to this walkthrough. Oh, interesting. It doesn't actually say. It doesn't really say if there's a right decision in terms of this one, or at least the walkthrough I looked at. Okay. Well, at least this other walkthrough that I'm looking at also made the same decision, that it was Kurt, but it wasn't premeditated, it was purely, It was a crime of passion. Okay. Oh, no, not that. Okay, so I think... Yeah, you know what? I probably can end things here. What time is it right now?
Oh, you did it, Sherlock! The case is closed and all rewards belong to the winner. Bravo!
It is merely the triumph of the truth.
Is it? No compromises? No lies? You're happy with your decisions?
It is what it is.
Whatever the truth, it had to be revealed. The victim deserved it.
Well, you seem confident in the value of your actions. I guess since I'm free, you were heard after all. By the way, did you get that precious information about your mother? Oh, not that you must.
Yes, I did.
Forgive my intrusion in such a personal matter. I simply worry I'm failing to be of much help to you.
Actually, you were. For some reason, all the archives on the case had disappeared. This was a rare opportunity to obtain the impossible.
Outrageous. Perhaps someone found the truth unpleasant. Society usually rejects those who speak with too much honesty, doesn't it?
A comfortable lie is often preferred to an uncomfortable truth. Still, I believe that the latter should prevail, and I cannot remain silent.
That's quixotism at its best. Your mere truth cannot defeat institutions, systems, and power. Etiquette, religion, marriage, they're all lies told to preserve connections, love, and sanity, and it's all corruptible.
Lies destroy human dignity. How could you make a free decision without any knowledge of the truth?
Are we really free to decide anything in this world, Sherlock?
I take your point. There are some limits on us all, some compromises we must make. Despite my best efforts, we cannot remain entirely objective.
I didn't want to sadden you, Sherlock, only to make you think beyond your boundaries. You're a walking contradiction, Sherlock. You refuse to lie to others, but constantly lie to yourself. How long until the train comes off the track? I cannot look away, but perhaps I should take a few steps back. You're an accident waiting to happen, dear. Until then, I shall bid you adieu.
Okay. Again, with the suspicious lighting. No cases? Alright. So I think that's gonna end the set there. I imagine in the... Because otherwise I just need to buy things from... I just need to buy things from these places, and I can easily do that in when I do the side mission stuff. When I record the side mission stuff. But with that, this mission, this case did not take as long as I thought it would. Thank goodness. But either way, thank you for liking if you liked. What's this? Oh, this is John's. Have you noticed that pigs are always somewhere to be found around filth? The same can be said about certain members of Credona's elite found at the Manchio's mansion. The cream of society has a thirst for lust, dirt, and nefarious deeds. Perverse, corrupt officials prefer to solve political issues behind the velar curtains. Cowden, the vice-governor, for example, his biblical marriage collapsed international affairs with Prussia. Where do you suppose this took place? At a party of Mr. Kurt Manchio's. Not to mention that this puddle of waste is being nurtured in a mansion that once belonged to a crazed architect. A place where every shape and edge has occult meaning. Cordona's elite feels safe and fine there, to be sure. This is a short summary of a single evening, but I am sure there is more to uncover. However, my hard work won't affect the run of my newspaper. John, the journalist. Present from the Queen. Okay. But yeah. So next set, I've done the case already, but it is... Was it Beyond the Joke? Where was it? Blindsided? I literally cannot remember. It already feels like ages ago since I did that mission. It wasn't Beyond the Joke. Okay, yeah. Next set's gonna be the Iron Coffin, which hopefully I'm not I'm not spoiling something there. But either way, until next time, guys, thank you for liking if you liked, thank you for commenting if you commented, thank you for subscribing if you subscribed, thank you for favoriting if you favorited, thank you for simply clicking on this video. Until next time, see ya!